Hey, what's up, my homesteaders? How y'all doing this week? Hope y'all doing all right. I don't feel like I'm sitting right. I think Joey's gonna come back. I saw he was in here in the chat earlier. I don't know if anybody's gonna come back. I'll put the I scrambled home. I didn't get home till like quarter after 5. I had to run uptown, do some stuff, and I went and got a few groceries. I had to run in and put those away and all that. I was in there trying to put my phone scrambling, trying to set the live up. And it's and then I had to run in there, try to brush my hair and clean myself up a little bit. Run in here, I tried to eat a few chicken. Hey, brother Dale, how you doing? Glad to see you. But I picked me up some the barbecue. I think it's just barbecue boneless wings from Walmart. Hey, Eric and Tina Rainy Beans, how y'all doing? But I picked up a couple of those. I got through putting up groceries and everything. I just ran in there and ate a couple of those and got my stuff together and tried to hurry up and get back here. So so I've been in a mad dash. So yeah, Dale, you were in a. Oh, I can't even think. I've been running crazy. Little Mountain Homestead Live. I think last night was it? Yeah, it was last night. And I mentioned to you about this truck ordeal. I finally just told them I had enough. They were trying to file on their own insurance. Hey, Virginia Alexander, how you doing? Chicken and dumplings. Oh, the old school rolled out was like Mama used to make. Mama used to cover the whole end of the big old bar in the kitchen with some wax paper, and she'd be rolling out uh, dumpling dough and cutting them up. Uh, but yeah, I just finally said, you know what, y'all are trying this. The insurance finally said they're not going to pay for both vehicles, and yeah, I've been talking to Gene on the phone. I went there and talked to my boss man. He pretty much told me the same thing. That basically, if I didn't step up, go ahead and get ahead of this right now, that I was probably going to get hoodooed some way. He didn't say it that way. I normally don't say it that way, but yeah. So when I talked to him on the phone, the couple that this thing's going on with, I ain't saying no names. Um, they were actually going to take me over to follow me to Tipton and bring me back to get my truck because they couldn't afford to pay for rental car anymore. And like I said, it just been weighing on me so hard. And I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of because everybody's trying to protect yourself, and I feel like I'm getting left out in the cold. And when they called back and said we're going to do that, and I said no, there's a change of plans. I said I'm going up to y'all's business, and I'm going to tell them they're going to have to take care of my truck. We're not doing it this way. I'm tired of worrying. I've been stressing, thinking about this all the time. I think it's affecting my sleep a little bit, worrying about it so much. And I said, yeah, we're going to go through this company. You know, I said, I mean, they're at fault. They're responsible for what happened. So they're going to take care of it. And they said something about they would run up there. They were supposed to be off work, but they said they would let their boss man know what was going on. I said, okay, I'm headed up there too. And they beat me there. And he was sitting there at his desk, propped up like this with his hand on his head, and he was writing. I could tell he wasn't happy about that. But yeah, they should have, but people didn't want to get fired is part of it, Dale. And your first instinct is protect yourself. So that's what they were trying to do. But I said, hey, we got to do it this way. And then I went and when I left there, my boss man, he was cool. He took me over to get my truck. And I was even thinking about going on back to work and finishing out the last couple hours of the day because we were just like 10 minutes away from work. So, uh, so I go there to get my truck. I get in. Last I was told, the brakes were fixed, everything was good, drove great. I got in, started backing up, and it didn't want to stop. It did stop. I have some brakes, not a lot. To get the brakes where they should be, you got to press the pedal all the way down, let it up, and press it back down again. Basically, pump the brake to get the pedal back where you can stop like you should. And then I got to go down. I got to trying to leave their parking their area because I got to have some way to go. They can't pay for their car, so I'm driving my truck with the tow up tail light and bent up tail end on it. Yeah, that's what it was when the airline. Hey, Scotty, how you doing? When the tire fell off, it ripped the airline in two, and they were bleeding them. They thought they had them bled somehow, and then when they went to back it out to move it to another stall to do the alignment, that's when the collision occurred and tore my truck up. So, uh, so I'm dealing with this right now. That was nothing. Um, so I'm going down the road and it still feels like it wants to float back and forth in the lane, like it had been. You kind of got to chase a little bit. Not bad, but it's not supposed to be doing that. Hey, Xander, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Xander, I keep doing that. Um, Starlink. I didn't get rid on that. I'll catch that in a minute. But so that doing that is still kind of like bumping, like something, like there's a joint or something that's just working under there, making a racket, like a bumping sound. I don't know if it's something to do with the brakes, like the brakes not releasing properly, and that's the clunking I'm hearing in the brake. I don't know, or something's loose there. I don't know. But I'm driving it easy, trying to get back to it. But I wasn't going to make a phone call to the corporate office because okay, I talked to the guy. He's writing it up. He's going to send the claim in, all that. Like I said, when I get my truck and it's still not fixed, that's when I got a little upset. I hadn't even ate lunch because I was so aggravated with all this. So I come home, I fixed me a little something to eat. I ate at about 4:30. Boop, 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 boop. That's called the corporate office. And I told them what went on with the tire falling off, 2 weeks without my truck, and the accident, everything, which I do have pictures of it too. um, So I told them everything that went on, and the lady assured me that she would send this over to somebody else, give them my information, and everything, and there would be an investigation. This is Monday. They said there would be an investigation started Tuesday, yesterday. I don't know if that occurred or not, but I'm hoping. At least it's in the books both ways now. And coincidentally, when I got back to work that Monday, my insurance had called me back because they were trying to get me to put it on my insurance and then pay the deductible and everything. And then they said, if my insurance won't pay, well, they write a note saying that they won't pay and that hopefully their insurance would go ahead and pay if that was the case. All right. But their insurance company even had me to call my insurance company to call them and see what they would cover and everything. They said, yeah, we ain't covering that. But I got aggravated. I said, you know what? I'm going to call my insurance company and tell them to just write a letter saying we ain't covering it, and I'll go that far. And then after that point, and that's when I went and talked to Gina and talked to the boss, and I said, you know what? I ain't doing none of it. My insurance company won't be involved in this at all. But they did call me back. I left a message and told us what I wanted to do. And she called me back and she told me that she would even, I told her story, and she said she would even check and make sure that the claim got turned in to the corporate to get taken care of. And she was going to contact the company and talk and see about that. And if for some reason they decide they want to back out and don't want to pay and don't want to take care of it, that they would stand behind me and they would cover me and fix my truck and take care of it and get me a rental car, all that good stuff. They've neglected to do so far. Uh, and then they would, I think she called it reciprocate with them. I probably said that word completely wrong, but basically they're going to take it up with their butts. See, I kind of got caught up in them trying to be so nice to me and trying to act like they were being so helpful, but in fact, it was just taking care of themselves, not me. And I finally decided, you know what, everybody's telling me what I need to do here, and I realized that that's what I need to do is step up and take care of myself, and that's what I did. I ain't done fighting with them yet. I don't think, unless they come up and make something happen. Hey, Joey, I just seen you in there. Sorry, I've been running my mouth and talking about all this mess. And I know y'all. I mean, everybody's probably getting so tired of hearing about the saga of Derek and his truck. It's bad luck. But I mean, I figure there might be one or two people that would want to know. I mean, I think Dale was kind of proud that I'd made that decision. Um, so I want to let y'all know. But like I said, that should have been the decision I made from the get go. Which the first day I thought that's what was going to happen. I mean, it was an accident. They thought the brakes were bled on my truck properly. They thought they did. They thought they were. Which they were working late trying to get it done so I could get my truck back. Yeah, pretty much, Sander. Exactly. Yeah, I appreciate that. Um, I was getting tired of the way I was getting treated too. I felt like I was left out. I mean, a whole week that my back to the wheel fell off, and I asked him about a rental car, and he said, "Well, I'll call my so and so and see what they can do." And I talked to him the next day, and he was like, "Well, they hadn't called me back yet. Why not?" And it's just pretty much beating around the bush, and then it got just dropped. So I went for a whole week. But I mean, the couple that the vehicle got hit, they actually went and rented me a car, and that kind of gave me a soft spot towards them because I thought, oh, well, they care enough. They went and rented me a car when this company didn't. And it kind of I let myself get drawn into it. I kind of wasn't thinking correctly. I mean, I was even telling Gina like, no, they're trying to do this. They're trying to help me and stuff. And I wasn't getting it in my own mind until I heard from her boss man, and they pretty much said the same exact thing. And I'm sitting there rattling on my brain, and I was like, you know what? They are right. I've let this go way too long. It's time to step up, say what I need to say. And they didn't like what I had to say, but they ain't got no choice in the matter. So, and I ain't trying to be mean about it. I ain't trying to be greedy about it or anything like that. But this has been 2 weeks. This company has not taken care of me and made sure I had a ride. The first week I was running back to with Gina, having to take her to work and then drive the car all the way back to Fitzgerald. And then she was taking me to work some days and driving all the way back to Douglas, like 35 miles. I say drive 15 miles and try to drive 35 miles. I mean, it was like every day, and it was just a pain in the butt. And then I get this little car, and I said, I appreciate the little car. It got me around for a while, but it was just way too small. I didn't think that was 2 days, but okay. Yeah. I mean, it was basically they thought the brakes were bled. They were backing it out, moved another stall. When they come out, it just kept coming. There was nothing they could do. Bam! My bumper hit their bumper, their pickup, and jumped the bumper, and the bumper's locked. So we had to get the big 10-ton floor jack. I've never seen one. Never seen a 10-ton floor jack. This thing, you hold the handle and the controls to let it up and down on the handle. And there's a foot pedal down there. This thing's about 4 foot long. It's about that wide. And it's a big red jack. And it's like a floor jack. And dude was trying to jack the handle that way. He finally had to take his foot and pump that pedal. And then it started going up. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. But they jacked my truck up, chalked the wheels on the front, jacked my truck up, and then backed his up a little bit to get it out from under. It was crazy. But like I said, it's not an experience I recommend you go through. It's been rough. I'll say that. Um, but I'm hoping brighter, shinier skies are coming soon. Like I said, I'm not trying to be greedy about it, but I figure all my time spent with me and Gina riding back and forth and everything, and then driving a little bitty car, and them not even, and the company not even trying to help me and everything, and it was just it's like everything being kept quiet, and you know nobody cared I was suffering with it. And I'm just looking back on it. I get mad, and get where I want to got throw a fit about it, have a little rant, but I'm trying to keep myself under control here, so YouTube don't jump me. But but you know, it's just I feel like maybe there should be a little compensation in there for all the pain and suffering I legitimately have went through. Next thing, oh wow, out of business. That's a mess, Xander. That sounds like my luck. You can't even lie about it. Oh, Dale, if you're still in here, you gonna be going live tonight on the face of book, the book of face, whatever you want to call it. Uh, hey Scott, how you doing, buddy? Rambling with the brooms. But, yeah, we might have to make a little trip over to Facebook. Check out Dale, his live. Gina might, FQ Gina might want to play some Kahoot tonight. Big boy, yeah. There you go, Dale. Hey, Lori. I kind of miss everybody out right about now sometimes. Everybody's trying to eat. No Facebook tonight, y'all. Dang it. Gina's going to be upset. I know she's ready for some Kahoot. I might be able to sweet talk her to stay up tomorrow night and play us on. So that's right. Y'all are still living in the camper right now. Xander, I remember seeing something about that the other week. I don't think I have all the full details though. But you know me, I get to running my mouth and talking, and I miss stuff. So yeah, wind ain't no joke. We felt that when I was Helene came through. I mean, the darn trailer was just you feel it shaking and vibrating. Oh, your pet's sitting. Okay, yeah, yeah, I remember that now. Hey, Lord, if you got to go ahead and eat, go ahead and eat, and then come back. We get it. It's supper time. I actually picked up a small pork roast today. Yeah, not major, about that big. It's something that fit about right. My little all the stabilizers are out too, man. You mean they're out of commission, not working, or they're not deployed, or um? But yeah, I was thinking doing a little pork roast in the crock pot, and I got about barbecue sauce. I got some rub. So I thought about making see if I can make some crock pot pulled pork. Even though it's a pork loin roast, so it had a little bit of fat on it, and I thought, let me give it a shot. Hey, Sister Beverly Mama, how you doing? Yeah. I must have missed what Virginia said. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the next step is finding a good old shyster. Out is in there, out to stabilize this thing, and it's still supposed. Wow, that's crazy. So you got stabilizers out, and it's still not stabilizing. It's still rocking. That's wild. Which I mean, in Nevada, y'all have a lot of big open flat land, so I would guess that wind would be kind of rough. Oh, but yes, my life has been insane here lately. With this daggum hurricane, 21 days without power. He keeps saying, no, it's like 20 and a half. But I'm saying 21. It was the day that we lost power, we got power back. So. And then the deep well, the pump motor goes out. There's a hole in one piece of the pipe. And then I got to spend $4,000 on that. I had to borrow, which they will be getting paid back this weekend. And I had to borrow that, and I had to borrow for the tractor, so I owed them 8,500. So the poor old timber check's gonna get all tore up. Hey, brother Piggy, how you doing? But but it's gonna get taken care of. Everything's gonna be good. And that's what Xander just said about the mountains. Mountains, okay, there you go. Xander's in the mountainous area, but like I say, yeah, things get kind of crazy around here. And now I'm had to go to war with a major corporation over my truck. So I never wanted any of this to happen. I never wanted to come to this. I just wanted my truck fixed, and then it's just progressed. It's just my luck, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, it's going to be all right. Everything's going to work out eventually. We got Lake Tahoe. I've heard of Lake Tahoe. Okay, then we got to look that up. But I have another. Well, right now I got it's technically 3 videos I got to make. Um, I'll be making a video for Christine's Miss Gill Farms chat. I think that's challenge. Sorry. Oh yeah, dude. It's kind of like they're worried about themselves covering their own butts. Don't want to get fired. They think they're gonna get fired if it comes out. And I hate to say it. I was trying to help them out at first, and I didn't want nobody to get fired. But now I'm at the point that it is what it is. Gotta look out for me for once. But yeah, I got to cook. I got to prepare something. I'm gonna grill something for Christine's collaboration. Uh, Wild Game November. I've got to prepare Noodle November for Tony at Kettle Kitchen. I got one of those 25th, one of those 27th this month. So I got to get that going. And December 1st, I need to have a video out for Steers, hashtag Steer Summer 2024. So, like I say, I was going to make it. Yeah, I got to catch up on those soup videos. I don't see some of those. Beverly. But I was thought of making a full collaboration, but it's just with all these other things going on, Christmas and everything happening. Uh-oh. We got to pop in.
Hey, Brother Derek.
Hey, Brother Dale, how you doing?
Oh, good, brother. I'm blessed beyond what I deserve. Guaranteed.
There you go. Oh. That's always a good place to
It's rain. It was raining today. We need the rain. So
yeah.
we're happy. Hi, everybody in chat. But
Yeah, I mean, we were getting dry here until the other day when we finally started getting some rain. It kind of got wet fast.
Well, this time of the year, it kind of does. Like, we got like 6.5 inches of rain, and then I don't know. I talked to one of my family members on the way home, and he said he had a 1/2 inch of rain. But it's a little bit muddy. It'll be not muddy by the end of the day tomorrow if we don't get any more. You know what I mean? Hey, Scotty.
Oh yeah, wind and stuff's gonna dry it out quick.
Hi, Virginia. Yeah, wind to dry it out quick. Plus, we're just that dry. I mean, we're to the point now we kind of need that big rain to fill up all these ponds and everything. We're primed up now that if we actually got another rain, just like what we got, another 6 inches, then it would fill up all our watersheds and everything, for the winter. But
yeah, that's some of the issues we used to have around here. We'd have a really rough summer and be really dry, and then for whatever reason we wouldn't get much rain during the winter, and then the ponds would never recover and come back from losing all that water.
That's what's happened to us the last 3 years, So
yeah.
Well, I wanted a chance to come in to pop in because I always want to try to come in and visit with you, but normally I'm driving home late from work or something like that, or doing chores, and so I just hopped on. I'm still in my work clothes and everything, and I wanted to pop in. Hey, Christine.
Hey, Christine, how you doing? We're at a church banquet. Okay, that's cool.
Cool.
But,
yeah, but yeah, what you've been going through with that truck, I mean, that's just, I would be like Roy D. Mercer. I'd be like calling down there and saying, just how big an old boy are you? I'll come down there and pour a 55-gallon can of, what on you. Because it's not right. Like I said, they should have garage keepers insurance. If they messed up, then it's covered,
Well, they were supposed to cover it that way, and I thought that's how they were going to cover it. But then these people got scared of getting fired because they had heard at another location something like this happened, and the person got fired that caused the accident, and the manager. So it's kind of been this little group thing going on.
Well,
and
I don't mean to be mean, and I don't wish any ill will on anybody, but if you don't do your job, maybe you need to find something else to do, because it's just like you were talking about backing out of that shop and the brakes didn't work. Before it ever got pulled out of the shop, they should have been pumping up and bleeding all the brakes and carrying on to make darn sure that they worked. You know what I mean?
They had it up doing that for like over an hour, and they couldn't get it. But then they told me, okay, what we didn't know is there's another bleeder valve on the master cylinder. I'm like, I never heard of that, but they said they bled that. And then I went up there the next day to talk to them about it. That's when I found out they were going to try to file their own insurance to cover their own butts. That's when he told me about the master cylinder, and he said, we bled that, then all four bled perfect. You got great brakes. It was sitting over to the side, and they told me they was going to take it to the shop, and we talked to their insurance on the phone, and they said, sure, everything's good. Just take your truck over there and we'll repair it. I'm like, great. And then next thing I know, they're saying, oh, no, now they want you to talk to your insurance and all that. And then they're saying, no, we won't take care of it. So then I finally got to the point where they said,
you don't want your insurance to get involved, because all it's going to do is then you're going to have to pay your deductible, and then it's going to be a strike against your insurance, and then your rate's going to go up. And what's going to happen is your insurance is going to turn around and sue them or fight them to pay it back. And then it'll get lost and all that, which that's between the insurance. But in the meantime, your truck could be sitting there not getting fixed, you know.
Yeah. But well, they told me they would go ahead and fix my truck. My insurance told me, they said, we will fix we'll take your truck, fix it, give you a rental while it's being fixed, the whole deal, and get your truck fixed. Then we're going to go after them, and we should be able to even get your deductible back from them with all that. But it may take a couple of years. Big companies fighting in the court system.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I'm sitting there out of even more money. So I'm hoping they'll go ahead and take
camera.
I hate anything.
You know, and it's so that's kind of like what I run into. My truck Nana got sideswiped. She was parked on the side of the road, and it tore up the mirror on my truck. And well, we were getting nowhere, so I went to my insurance, and they're like, my insurance agent, she's like, I can do what you're asking. She said, but that's not I had the police report that said what insurance they had, and she got their corporate number for the insurance, their insurance, and she said, don't call their agent. They refused to give us their insurance information. They refused to do anything. So she said, just call directly to their insurance company. We called. We sent them a copy of the police report, pictures of my truck, and they got back a hold of Lisa instantly. And they're like, well, do you already have an estimate? If so, send it to us. Because they knew they were at fault instantly, you know?
Yeah.
But Christine, Derek has had, his truck was at a mechanic shop to put some stuff on. He moved it out of there, driving down the road, and essentially the wheel fell off after they worked on it. So then they took it back to that shop for him to fix that they messed up. Then they went to back it out of the shop. Exactly. Then they went to back it out of the shop, and they didn't make sure the brakes were bled. So when it backed out, they couldn't stop and backed into somebody else's vehicle sitting right there, the person that worked on it. It's just turned into a whole fiasco. Yeah, got his truck all tore up, everything. They're not wanting to pay for it. They've just been joshing him around ever since. You know, it ain't right.
Like I said, you know, and I went and picked the truck up, and nothing not been wrong. Brakes work perfect. No sounds coming out of the front.
Story.
I might not have called corporate. I mean, I'd already told them they go out to fix my truck. That was already done. And I said, okay, I'm satisfied. He's turning it in. He's going to take care of it. And then when that happened, I said, no. This is 2 or 3 times they worked on my truck, and it's still not fixed. And my brakes ain't right now on top of everything. Nah, we call it corporate.
Yeah. Well, maybe not talk about the name of the company because it's a big company. You know?
Yeah. I'm not going to say the name on here.
Yeah.
If something real bad was to happen, I might get on here and bash them one day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it goes on a couple more weeks and you ain't getting no satisfaction, I would. I'd say, I do have access to a very large following of, Hi, Deanna.
Hey,
Dee's Garden and Adventure.
I got friends in low places and friends in high places.
Right. Yes, it is, Christine. It's the same company that worked on it the first time is the same one that then run into the vehicle with it.
Yeah.
When it was in there being repaired for that. But that spongy deal, that's nothing to mess around with. Like, your brakes should not be spongy at all, ever.
That's why I'm just trying to ease on it because I think my boss told me, he said, when you contact corporate, you have to give them one chance to fix it.
Yep. And
I said, I've already given them 2 chances. He said, well, you still have to, after you call corporate, you got to give them one chance. I said, I will not take it back to that location. I'll take it to Douglas.
That's right.
Because there's no one.
And that's what I'd tell corporate. I'd tell corporate it is not going back to that shop.
No.
You tell me what shop you want me to take it to, and I want it fixed right.
Yeah. And that's why I'm planning on taking it over there, and then probably going straight after that to a body shop over there somewhere to be repaired.
Yep.
And like I say, I feel like I deserve a little compensation for this too.
That's right. I think you do too. I mean,
it's just been so much. But I mean, it's just been such a big ordeal, and it just didn't make any sense at all. None of it.
It don't.
And I'm still wondering if that was a faulty control arm or a factory defect in the control arm that caused all that. It pure pulled the ball joints apart. I'm not seeing that would be the control arm. I mean, you can see the little rod with the ball on the end of it. I mean, it just pulled it out. So I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, the ball joint deal is, and that's what scares me when you're saying it's making like a clunking noise and carrying on. Like they didn't do something right when they did that.
I say this will be the second time. So
yeah.
Like I said, it almost sounds like something's loose, and it's like it's shifting and touching something. You get metal on metal, like bumping sound.
Yeah.
And it's doing a little bit, but like down the road, it's fine.
Something's not right. Christine, that's funny. Call her the crazy lug nut lady. Well, if you've ever watched a Ron White bit where he's talking about that he took his van to Sears to have 4 new tires put on and paid his hard-earned money to have the tires put on, and apparently the old cat that put the tires on they sent to tire college, and apparently he was sick on lug nut day. He pulled out of the driveway and the tire fell off on his van.
Wow.
Oh, it's the funniest thing ever, but it's exactly like what you're talking about. Like, it ain't right. Like,
it's, like I said, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, they were really short-handed. I get it. And they were scrambling. They were trying to get my truck back to me. But it's still really no excuse for being quite so negligent. Because I'm sure he probably felt like I did when he got in that truck that day. I'm sure he felt that pedal go down the floor.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, because you have to press my brake.
Accidents happen. Things get forgotten. Things, go awry. That's part of it. But you make it right. Like, if they would have made it right and fixed it and done it right, then the second accident wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like one thing after another with this company. And I think what they're doing, they're not really, most of these places aren't hiring licensed mechanics. It's been a school for it. They're hiring shade tree.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I know some shade trees that are just as good or better than those that work at businesses like that. But at the same time, I know exactly what you're saying. Places are looking for help so bad they'll just hire anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, in the big town by us where there's a Walmart at, I refuse to have anything done in there because they just hire anybody off the street, and they've got a proven track record, of twisting studs off on people's vehicle and not telling them, of leaving lug nuts loose, of leaving oil filters loose and blowing up engines. And it's just and it's not like an occasional thing. It's like daily somebody's telling you that happened,
But, I mean, I agree with you about shade. There's some shade tree mechanics out there, old school guys that really know their stuff. They can work on just about anything. But then there's some that's like they're kind of off to the side, just barely in the shade,
Yep.
and they think they know, but they don't. A YouTube mechanic.
Yeah.
They look it up on YouTube and hope they figure it out and do it right the first time.
You know, you take people like Brother David at Heartland or Country Born as Paint Buffer, like, you know, he knows what he's doing. I'd take it to him in a heartbeat, you know. He's been around it his whole life. He knows, you know.
I mean, he takes pride in his work.
Exactly. Now there you got it right there. I was talking about that with my students. You know, I got some students that they have no pride in their work whatsoever. It's just whatever it takes to get it done. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you an example. So I'm gonna give you an assignment and a test on working on a vehicle. And you're gonna just barely get by and do whatever you gotta do and get a C. And then the other cat, old Bill over here, he does his studying, does his due diligence, double checks his work, and gets an A on it. Now that bill is going to be $5,000 on fixing your truck. Who are you going to take it to? You going to take it to Ted over here that got a C, or are you going to take it to Bill that got an A+ on that assignment? And all these kids in there was like, I'm taking it to the A+ guy. Well, that's who you need to be. You need to like make sure and take pride in your work. You know?
I mean, if you don't take pride in what you do and you don't at least try to make an effort to do it the right way, I mean, you just might as well go home.
All you do is sweep and mop floors, but you do it to the best of that can be done, and it's done right, that's pride. It don't matter. I'd rather have 100 of them like that than have somebody who just does a halfway job and wants to move on and go stand by the water cooler and BS for the rest of the day. You know?
No, a lot of those.
I know. And in my old world, there was a lot of them. A lot of those. That were just there to kind of put in time at the end of the day, you know?
It's kind of like when you pull up to the fast food restaurant, you're sitting there just waiting for your food, and you wonder why there's 4 or 5 other people who are standing there besides the drive-through clerk person, just standing there hanging out, talking, looking at their phone and stuff.
I don't get that either. Like, so I guess I was just raised different or whatever, but like when I worked at a dealership, if we had an issue like that, say somebody's combine went down in harvest, it wasn't all on just one person. Like everybody in the store did their most to make sure that the job got done and out of there. From the parts person making sure that they were 2 steps ahead, bringing them parts and whatever, to every mechanic in the shop that wasn't working on their own job, say they were in between jobs, they were over there helping that person out to get it out of there. You know, it didn't matter. Salesman, I was a salesman. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I was set out in the field working on balers or working on a combine or a tractor to make sure, a planter to make sure that they were getting the job done, you know, because I was there. I knew what to do. I could fix it instead of waiting for somebody else to get there. Like, I don't get this deal of, well, that's not my job, I'm not going to do it. Listen, you know, hey, Ginger.
Ginger. I mean, that just happens so much. I mean, you know, if I'm at work, give me something to do. Or I'll find something or whatever. But, I mean, all these people, they just go there and make a check. They go park in the back on their forklift and hang out and look at their phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Straighten up roads, fix things. Do something.
Hey, Rebecca. Exactly. And that's right, Christine. It's called customer service and protected and customer mission. I mean,
yeah. And a good work ethic.
Ooh. Dink's moving into a new position around the 1st of December. We'll be praying for that to be. I know he's going to be awesome at it.
Oh, yeah.
because that man's got the drive. You know what I mean?
David don't play. I mean, I've seen his work with that paint buffer. He is. I don't know about anything else he does, but he make a car shine like gold.
Oh, look at Ginger. That I've said that before. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Pick up a dang broom.
I used to tell that to my parts people when I was a parts manager. You know, I'm running around trying to do ordering and check on orders and stuff like that, or work on the next preseason or inventory, and you go out there and they'd all be on the counter. And I'm like, if you got time to stand there, you got time to go pull something off of a shelf and dust the shelf and rearrange or refill the filters or bring up more jugs of oil or go back in there in the parts, you know, bins and clean, just start on a section and clean all the trash and take the shop back and shop back out the dust. And like, you got time to stay busy. I mean, we pay you to work. That means you work. That doesn't mean you stand around and look at each other. You know,
that's like our boss says all the time. He said, "Yeah, we're in a 2,000 foot or 200,000 feet square feet. I think it is. What he said was a warehouse, storage warehouse, a distribution center, hundreds and hundreds of pallets of peanut butter and this, that, and the other in here. And you mean you can't find something to do?"
Yeah.
He said, "Come see me. I'll find you something to do."
So we were cleaning up for the open house last week. You know, we had where we invited the public in there and we set up tours and everything. And now I'm kind of the one in charge. And I was in the other shop, come back into the main shop, and there's 2 or 3 students standing there visiting. And I walked over to the wall and I grabbed 2 brooms and a scoop shovel, and I walked up to them and I said, "Go to the front yard and sweep all the leaves up off the sidewalk and put them in the dumpster." And they're like, "But it's raining outside." I said, "Well, you should have thought about that before you had time to stand around and visit."
Yep.
Of course, then I was the mean guy.
Yep.
I mean,
well, see, a lot of it's not their fault. A lot of these kids growing up now, they didn't have to go to the field and work.
nope.
They got to sit at home and play video games. They didn't have responsibilities that you had to do every day. So most of them didn't learn a good work ethic. And well, that's my generation that did that. I look back
And
on
I'm
it.
telling you, some of their parents, like they learned it firsthand from their parents. I don't know how many times I've been at like a ball game or whatever, and you can just overhear these people talking, and they're like, "Well, I told him that's not my job. I'm not going to do that. They don't pay me enough to go do that." Well, they paid you. If you don't like your job, like my mom used to say, she's like, "If you don't like your job, keep doing that job and find another one. Don't walk out. Just go start applying and find another job, and then when you get that next job, put in your 2-week notice, go to the next place, and you know they'll wonder why they can't keep somebody. You know."
And I have done that in the past. When I see things are going downhill fast, the job, like maybe a place is about to shut down or something like that, or it's fitting to get a little sketchy around there, I'll put in a call somewhere I used to work or something like that. And normally I had a good work ethic about me, and people like my work and like me. I'd call them up. "Hey, y'all got anything going on?" Say, "Yeah, we find a place for you. Come on."
Right.
Give them a notice, and I'd go to the next job. You know, and that's how you do it.
You know, and that's the problem that I see in the young generation is the entitlement is just out of control. They feel like they should start off making what somebody there that's been working there for 20 or 25 years, they should make what they're making. Everybody should make the same. Hey, this ain't communist nation. This is a capitalist nation. You want to earn money, you put in your time and the work, and guess what? You're going to earn it.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to get paid the same. Seniority means something.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. Lisa just said not at her school, and that's what upsets me a bunch is she's been there 15 years, and if they hire somebody new off the street, they pay him the exact same amount that they pay her, and that's not right.
See,
and they
that's
get
what they
the
do.
same benefits, everything. It's not right.
See, that's what they do where I'm at. That's what gets on my nerves sometimes. They take somebody that comes in, hadn't been there a year, and they say, okay, we're giving all forklift drivers a raise to this point. I spent these 3 or 4 years putting a little space between them, and now you put them right where I've been. I've been there 12 years.
Bingo.
You know, what kind of sense does that make? Corporate. Yeah.
And I know, Christine, that's true. That's too much of that garbage is going on. We've got away from what made this country great was that drive that people had. That's why people had drive, why they stayed committed to companies for years and years and years, because they were rewarded for that longevity. They were rewarded for coming in and doing a good job. Instead, we're going to pay the exact same amount to somebody who just showed up, who doesn't show up to work on time half the time, right? But, we can't do anything different about that because, by golly, that would be picking on them. No, horse pucky.
Snowflakes.
Can't show up to work on time? Yeah, exactly. Can't show up to work on time? Guess what? After about the third time you can't show up to work on time, I had a young man, I gave him a week when I was a service manager of him showing up late for work every day, and it started on Monday, and come Friday morning, he called me. He's like, hey, I'm going to be late. And I said, hey, don't worry about coming in, man. And he goes, oh, really? I said, yeah, don't worry about coming in until later. Bring me back my uniforms and we'll have your last check for you. Well, what do you mean? I said, I don't need somebody around here like you. I said, you're paid to show up on time. Come on time. We've talked and talked and talked. Just don't worry about it no more.
Yeah. I'm a little like that sometimes. Not way late. I might be a minute or two late here and there, but I'm there pretty much every day. I do my job when I'm there. There's been multiple times I've stayed later than anybody, making sure things get done. That's the only way you get away with that. Is you know what your job and you help people, you do the work, and you'll be there. Now, if you're coming in 30 minutes late all the time, no. You got to go.
Yeah.
Which really, I should have been gone for being late a lot of the times I'm late. But the boss man sees what I do. I'm pretty much running it for him. So he don't want to get rid of me. So,
night, Christine. You guys have a good one.
Have a great night, Christine and Johnny.
Hey, I see. Yeah,
Joey.
I see that. Tamara, you're right. And Joe, fix it for you. Joe, you are exactly right, because I've have a business for myself, and that is exactly true. People think your time is worth absolutely nothing, and they think that your time is not valuable as far as time off or time to be with your family or anything like that. Like if you're working a side hustle, they think that being that you're working a side hustle, that means you're at their 24/7, 365 beck and call. And they don't understand, that you're trying to do them. You're trying to do a favor. There's a reason why your shop rate is cheaper or your rate is cheaper, because you don't have all that overhead. But that also comes along the lines of, that means you can't be there like a full-blown business. You're trying to be helpful to someone, and instead they just take advantage of you.
Yes, sir. You're exactly right. I'll
And
stop.
D was killing me with that male nurses make more than female nurses. I figured it was the opposite way around. I know that is the way with other jobs that males tend to make more than females, and especially those non-traditional gender jobs, like tractor mechanic, for example. You know, it's typically a male-dominated field.
Well,
And
it's just
some
natural because there's
businesses,
more heavier lifting. You got
yeah,
to grab a big wrench and pull it. Some ladies, it's hard to do that. Some of them can handle it.
yeah.
I've seen some tough women, but
But I'm
but
telling you, I've had female students that I would hire them in a heartbeat,
yeah,
because they were meticulous about what they did. That was going to be done the first time. They may have needed to have help to do certain things, like you say, or needed to use more lift or,
yeah,
a crane or something like that that typically wasn't being used.
yeah.
But they, in the long run, they were better. A lot of welding places, they'll hire women welders before they will men, because women just have more tendency of attention to detail than men do. God
I've
designed
seen
it different for that reason.
I've seen women welders that I believe they can weld water together and not even make ripples. I mean, I've seen them that are that good. I mean, it's that was a lot of my problem with welding. I wanted to make that thing just perfect. It would drive me crazy. And it sometimes the welding, it's just your weather conditions can cause it. If you're using a MIG welder, wind blowing across there, pulling the gas away can cause it. There's so many different things that can cause problems.
Oh
And
yeah,
you'll run yourself insane trying to create the perfect weld.
yeah.
But everything else,
I'm trying to remember what factory it was. I went into it, and that was the tour guide for that factory was telling us it was one of these factories, that make farm equipment, and they told us like 70 or 80% of their welders were women for that fact, because they'd proved that they were doing a better job.
my capstone
Lucky,
project.
lucky. That's pretty cool.
It's called the capstone project. It's overhead. It's
Yeah.
pipe welding, which I'm horrible at. All that stuff. I still got it. It's a glorified paperweight.
He had to do that to pass his class.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
My open root in the top plate here. Oh, that is horrible.
Oh, but so
But,
hard to do.
yeah. But to me, there was no better feeling than when I did. I finally got to do TIG, and I welded my plates, and my instructor took them over to the press. Did it. He tried to look at me and smiled and said, flawless.
Sweet.
Dude, I almost got choked up. I mean,
Yeah.
it meant the world to me.
Yep.
So, I mean,
I had one. So one of the projects that my students are doing right now, they're having to time a diesel John Deere engine that has individual injection pumps and injector nozzles for each cylinder. And you have to go through this whole process using dial indicators and all this precision measuring. And you have to you have to follow exactly what the book and instructions tell you, or it will not run right. And this one partner group, they just, they were fretting and fretting over this deal. And pretty soon it come time to run it. The one kid, he'd worried himself so sick, he'd literally made himself sick over this, because if they don't get it right, they don't pass the class.
yeah.
And so we go to fire this thing up, and the way that you have to get these little guys started, because we kind of have them just on a stand. It's not really in the machine. So I always give them a little snort of ether, and that gets them primed up faster, and then they'll start. So we don't wear out a battery, you know. Well, they're kind of cranking on it, and I give it that snort, and it fires up and then immediately dies, and I just start shaking my head. And that kid, I thought that poor kid was going to start tearing up on me. He thought that meant that it was over, like he'd messed it up. And I just kind of chuckled. And I told the other one, I said, keep cranking. And I bet it didn't turn over twice. I gave it another shot, and it just took off. Run perfect. Run perfect. And when they got done, they're like looking at me and they're like, so, and I said, well, let me tell you, it's, you know, kind of running. And then all of a sudden I switched gears on them and I said, perfect. It's a perfect job.
Just, you know, that one kid was
he's
screaming.
and hollering and he's jumping up and down.
You just know he was screaming on the inside, like, please, 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 until you said that.
But that little 5-cylinder engine just runs smooth as could be, and you know they've done the best job they could do. You know, but now I have another one that they've done it now 3 times, and it still ain't right. And even though I've tried to walk them through it, they're going to be a group that's going to have to like learn it themselves the hard way, because I've tried to help, and they just can't get it. You know.
Sometimes you have to be, you have to have the ability to see what it should be doing. You know,
and I try to show
you know in your mind, this got to work, this has to work this way, this has to fire, this has to work, the gas pump's here. You know that. Some people can't grasp it. They can't get it. No
like
matter how
this
hard
one group, they were struggling with it, and finally I walked over there and I'm like, okay, I want you to explain it to me like I've never done it before. Tell me what's the first thing I got to do. And so they start telling me, and I'm like, so this component has to move this many degrees back and forth. Yeah. I said, well, how come when I do it, my rack doesn't all the way go to the front? And they just looked at me. And they're like, well, I don't know. That's the problem we have. So I'm like, bring your injector pump here. Bring your pump here. So they hand me the pump, and I have the little lever, and I said, okay, this lever goes all the way from here all the way to here, right? Yeah. I said, if I push it all the way against here, can I go any farther? No. I said, so if I put this down in the machine and I turn it to where that stop is right here, can that rail go any farther that way? Oh, so what you're saying is we're too far turned. Yeah, that's what I've been saying for like the last 30 minutes. Oh, I'm like, what other way can I explain it?
I've had people I've had to train to work the scanner system and stuff at work, and it's just brutal. Some of them just come in, it's like duck to water. I mean, they get it, they run with it, and then some it's over and over and over and over, and they still don't get it. It's like you have to see this in your mind when you punch these numbers in. You do this, and you tell it you want this to do this. Visualize this pallet moving from here to here.
Yeah.
And this and that and other. You got to see that. I see it in my mind when I do it. But it's like they can't get there. They can't get that far.
Yeah, I've got ones like that. Hey, Rebecca, that's good news that it's finally getting over there. That's right, Lori. Some of them are not mechanically inclined, and they should not be in my program. And I tell them that. I'm not. I have set individuals down and said, is this really what you want to do for a living? Yeah, I think. Well, no. I think doesn't work here. is this really what you want to do? You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to go home. Usually I'll do this before a weekend. Like, you need to go home and you need to actually have a set down heart to heart with yourself, because this isn't working. Or I'll just flat ask them, how do you think this is going? You know?
I've had a few like that where I had to go to the boss man and say, look, it's not working.
Yep.
They're just not getting it. They're not figuring this out. I've tried everything. And he'll be like, well, just try harder. Taking the work with business, I've done that.
I went to my own boss one time and went in his office and shut the door. And I said, you know, I really appreciated being here and everything. But this just isn't working for us. Like, and it just knocked him over. He's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'm just, you know, this just really isn't a good fit. He's like, well, I'm happy. It's not like I'm upset with what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, but we're not like setting the world on fire, and this just isn't like going great. You know, so before some kind of animosity happens between the two of us, because we were friends to begin with, it's time that we just kind of dissolve this, and that way we can stay friends, you know? And he's like, well, I don't know as that I've ever had somebody quit like that. I'm like,
yeah,
well, I'd just as soon be the bigger person, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't work with anybody like that. Good night, D.
Oh, Joey. Joey in here can't keep up with time zones. Joey, it's not that hard.
I saw that. I mean, sometimes it just gets to the point that we got to be done. It's just not going to work.
That's right.
And sometimes it don't matter if it's hurt feelings or not. You got to do what you have to do.
And Xander, you're exactly right. Bye. Bye, Deanne. Night.
Yeah, I've told bosses a lot of things in the past. So some things I should have been fired for telling them.
Night, Tina.
Because I threw 4-letter words in there. Tina? Uh-oh.
Tina's
Everybody's
leaving us. Deanna's leaving us.
Wow. They must be tired of hearing us talk.
I'm thinking so.
Dang.
I'm just, you know, the Facebook deal. I'll talk about the Facebook deal real quick. It's just, you know, not really like, we're just kind of reevaluating things, you know. We want to focus a little bit here and do a little better job here. So, and I don't want to like running against other people, you know, because like you're live, you know, I want to support your live here on YouTube. And if I'm over there, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So
that's no problem. We all got to try to grow, Dale.
Yeah.
You talk a lot of this stuff. You can't be in every live.
Yeah.
You're the one that preached that to me to start with. And I felt bad about missing a lot of people's lives. And sometimes you just have to. Sometimes you have to miss your own.
I know. Hey, Pooch. I got a friend named Pooch.
Wow. Got cabbage. That jumped quick. What's going on, Pooch? But I mean, I don't mind you doing your live and stuff, Dale. I mean, that's why I try to send people over as much as I can.
Hey, we appreciate it.
Everybody wants
and really, honestly, that was the only people we were getting was people like that you sent over there or Amy sent from hers, because, you know, I got buku's followers on Facebook. I'm not bragging, but they don't interact with things. Like, they don't interact with that stuff. And if there's only 6 or 7, you know, we could probably be focusing our time on something else. You know what I mean? I could be editing videos to actually put out videos that, you know, and stuff like that. That's kind of why I started. Just, you know, I was busy last week, couldn't get away from work in time to even do it, you know, and I just told Lisa, I said, let's just, till further notice, we're not going to have any more, you know.
I've noticed a lot of times people on Facebook get kind of caught up in their own stuff.
Yeah.
They want to put their stuff out, want you to like it, but then when you put something out, crickets.
Yep.
Yeah, they're worried about their own business. So
yeah,
people,
and you know, you go live here. I try to go in and support and say hi to, because the Facebook deal, Amy kind of, Facebook was important, so I'd support her on Facebook. I'd come support you over here. But then the rest of my night on Wednesday night is like Pretty and Pooch going live. You know, I always make sure I'm in theirs. And MT Homestead, you know, Ma and Paul. Because if it wasn't for Ma and Paul, MT, Mike and Terry, we wouldn't be where we're at. They were one of the first channels to shout us out to the whole Shoot Dang clan, you know. So we try to be supportive over there and stuff, you know.
Well, see, that's what I learned from a lot of you guys to start with. When I first even started watching, I watched how everybody looked out for each other, and they shout each other out, shared posts about stuff, and tried their best to help each other out. And that's just what I've always tried to do. So I it's simple.
I mean, you're so much like me and Lisa. We were subscribers and supporters before we were ever content creators. So we kind of know how to support each other. You know what I mean? Like, you've been around us since the very first of our channel, really. I mean, I can remember you're one of my first commenters, you know?
Yeah. God, it's been, what, a couple of years now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been almost 3 now, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
But at the same time, I love helping new channels out.
Yeah.
Like, I love helping, you know, Trade, Our Louisiana Life, and Amy, and some ones like that, you know. Ginger, the same way. Ginger, you know, we kind of all come up together. You know what I mean?
That's like
Tamara. I remember getting comments from Tamara before it was Heartland headquarters with Dink and Tank. And I'm like, who is this? I don't know who that is. And then it wasn't until like all of it jived together. I'm like, well, they're like really close to us.
Well, see, I mean, I started watching you guys. I started watching Maddie at the same time. And that's where I saw Piggy. And I was like, y'all are doing all this. Y'all are like making me want to start a channel. And Piggy said, do it. Just jump in there and try it. And I've been mulling it over in my head for a little while. And then I was talking, and Ginger mentioned a chili smackdown. And I thought, that'd be cool. I like chili, this, that, and the other. Next thing I know, I'm getting you on saying, do you want to take part? I'm like, oh, dang.
Oh, no, I'm going to have to actually do it now.
I got to do something. Next thing I know, I'm making chili. So... and the nervous pork chop video and all this. And the next thing I know, I'm making videos and just pulling stuff out of my butt.
Yeah, and then hosting collaborations like Steer Simmer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We meant to do more, but man, when that happened with my job where the other guy left and I had to take over everything, like all that stuff kind of went out the window. Like I had to focus on work and quit. Well, now I'm kind of catching my breath, you know. But
it takes time to figure it out. When you get all this extra thrust on you, and you got to try to figure out how to spread it out and get it back right again. It's rough. I mean, there was time we slowed down at work, then all of a sudden, we're scheduling 40 trucks today. We ain't never done 40 trucks. There's 6 of us. How are we going to do this? They say, you know, it's like 10 o'clock at night, you're still loading trucks. I mean, but then eventually you start trying to figure ways to speed up and work this out and spread this over here, put this over here, and it works out better. But
oh, Joey, talk about the kebab video. I'm telling you, that kebab video makes me want kebabs.
Man, I actually put some seasoning on those kebabs extra. I didn't think they were seasoned, but they were. He'd already salted and peppered them. Whoa, salty. But the onions, the bell peppers, and everything were amazing.
Oh yeah.
I could eat just a little bit past medium. It was still good. But those pork kebabs. I know you don't like pineapple.
No.
But there were pineapple, but it was a bacon wrap piece of pork with pineapple.
Oh yeah.
And I grabbed up one of those on the end and picked that piece of pork up, and it just like fell all to pieces.
Now,
I'm
so, down and dirty, breaking it down with Derek. I don't mind pineapple cooked on like something like that.
oh, okay.
I won't eat the pineapple, but I'm all about that moisture from the pineapple going in that meat. You know, it's kind of like when Grandma used to bake the Christmas ham and she'd put the pineapple rings all over it so that pineapple could soak down in and keep it moist. I'm okay with that. Just make sure mine doesn't have none of that pineapple attached to it.
Well,
You know.
one of the best hams ever made we got from work, and we should be getting one this year. I can't remember if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think it's Christmas. But they give us Lee hams. Lee hams are among the saltiest hams on earth. So I found out. So the only way I could combat it was with pineapple. I put pineapple all over the outside. I poured the juice out of the cans on it. But then I stopped by the store and I got a glass bottle of Everfresh pineapple juice. A lot of sugar and sweetness to it, and I poured it all over the top. Cooked it down for a few hours, shut it off, and it stayed warm all night, took it to work, and finished cooking it for work. But I got a coffee cup and scooped some of that juice up and poured it over the top to keep it moist.
Oh yeah.
I think I washed that sweetness kind of stuck, and it pulled that salt away off the outside. So then the ham was almost perfect. But if you we tried to eat one, just put it in the oven, bake it, and then try to eat it, it's like, oh my dear Lord.
It's too salty.
It's like those in the cartoon where their mouth falls up.
Tamara just took me down a trip down memory lane with Tamara B, then Life with David and Tamara. Yeah, I remember all those old channel names now before it was Heartland headquarters. That's awesome. She was back a few posts ago. She was talking about all the old channel names. Hi, Janae.
Hi, Janae.
Janae, I have to watch her live on repeat, on Rewatch Crew, because she goes live when I'm at work, usually. But
yeah, that's that dadgum Ginger does the same thing to me. So
Ginger does that Thursday mornings. I'm at work. I'm like, I can't be on Craft and Chat,
Every so often I can be on my break. If I run a little over, it's usually at 9:30. So I catch it at about 10. I can be on there. The other day, I think last Thursday, I caught it, and it just started, and I didn't realize it was on. My break was almost over. And I looked, and I saw some of it, and I almost commented and said something. I said, no, it'll take me 5 minutes to get out of here once I get in here. So I'll just wait. But
it's okay, Ginger.
I get to watch some of
it. Just watch it on. That's why they have replay.
Yeah.
But Joey says it's no problem. He'll drive through Atlanta to get him some grilled kebabs.
Come on now. I don't know if I can make it. I had to go to Walmart and buy a taillight repair kit. It's got the red tape, the amber tape, and the clear tape to get me by till something gets going, because I don't feel like I can stop and pull out my license and insurance card 15 times on the way to work and back and all that. Because the cops want to ask me, why is your taillight busted?
Yep.
So,
Night, Tamara. Tell David we said hi.
yeah. Say hello, David, for us. Regina ate them all now. Yeah, probably. She probably ate them all.
She said she wouldn't drive through Atlanta to get you.
She wouldn't.
Oh, man.
She'd do good to make it to Macon, and then she'd be like freaked out what side road. You have to let your captors talk your captors into letting you go and come get me.
So I have a friend that does the same thing I do, and he's in Americus, Georgia. At Americus College or whatever. I don't know for sure right where that's at.
I don't think Americus is too far. It's not. No, it's ABAC now. That'd be Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. Oh. Okay, MapQuest.
Uh-oh.
Well, Google Maps. Google Maps. Okay. It's an hour and 56 minutes from here.
Oh, it's not very far, really.
About 2 hours. It's actually a little ways west of Cordele.
Yeah.
A little bit east of Columbus. It's kind of over towards where I wanted to go for the meetup. Yeah.
Well, I've been talking to Matt. Maybe sometime us go visit.
I'm the blue dot. The little red circle thing is Americus. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't very far.
Yes, it's not too far. I'm
Well,
not sure what that college is.
If I make it there, you better be ready to be getting a phone call. But
Be happy to.
hi, Janae.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Janae.
Hey.
Hiya.
How you doing, girl?
I'm doing. My mama's here. I had to bring her to the doctor appointment yesterday. It was a really busy day, but I got it done. Woo!
I know how that is. For sure. But
That's
how's
right.
Mama doing? Good?
Yeah, she's passing her love to everybody and greetings. She said, "Hey, Dale."
Hey.
And Nana, she says to Nana, give Nana hey too. And Derek, hey, Derek.
Hello.
I will.
And Dale, I always laugh at this. I hope he fix this for me. My profile thing. We don't know how to get that up.
You laugh at what now?
You don't see it up here. Whenever we do codes, I couldn't check the last one. It was a root and two and time.
Oh,
Hold the floor. Regina is the fart queen. I said, oh my goodness, I hope that woman's not offended, but I said,
Regina the fart queen.
She's so sweet.
She does not care.
She don't care. So I just love how everyone comes together and can just forget the worries of the day and just come in and just have wonderful communities. Just come in and just laugh it off and just enjoy, just enjoy life. It's fun. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, Regina says she owns the fart queen title.
She would.
She's proud of it. Hey, Regina.
But yeah. We kind of look out for each other. We look out for each other, take care of each other best we can.
She owns it. She is owner. Fart queen. Y'all, when y'all went to Biggins Barbecue up there in Georgia,
Yeah.
and I really wanted to come meet up with Jesse and everybody. It was,
I understand.
yeah, you went, Derek, didn't you?
I wish we could have went to Georgia, but that was right when Lisa's brother's funeral was and everything, so we couldn't
I
make it.
remember, yes, I remember that, Dale.
It's always a rough time there.
Mm-hmm. How's your dad's? Both of y'all. Do you have your dad still, Derek?
I hadn't had my dad since 2011.
I'm sorry to hear that.
My
Derek, how about?
my daddy's doing okay. He's still got some heart stuff going on, but he's still going. I don't know. They've kind of, I think they're messing him up more with the medication than they're helping him. But
Yeah.
I don't know. He's going through the lots of infusions for his cancer and lots of chemo, and that I know that's hard on your heart. But
Mm-hmm. And when they switch the medicines out, that can be difficult too.
well, now they got it down to like his, like the other day, his heartbeat was like in the 30s, and his pressure was like 200 and something over almost 200. And I'm like, that's not good, Dad. Like, you got something ain't right here. So that's when he went up to the emergency room and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
That's like putting a little valve cover gasket right there.
yeah, I mean, that's stroke and stuff like that. So we don't need that. But
You guys, I'll be right back. Nature is calling me.
okay,
Right.
it's called a bio break, is what Christine calls it.
Yeah. We'll hold it down, right, Dale?
Yeah, we can hold it down.
You can hold it down.
But I'm gonna make Nana and I are gonna make supper here in just a minute. And I already did chores, and the wind's blowing. Like, my goodness, the wind's blowing, and I gotta get some stuff done because I'm gonna have a little something going on this weekend. So I gotta get ready for that. And I know it's only Wednesday, but I'm leaving on Friday, so I gotta start getting some things around. You know what I mean?
I heard that. Yeah. Well, there's never enough time in one day. I figure that when I start my days early, it feels that, I can feel it and get things,
Yeah.
try to get as much as it in. You got to start really early in the morning.
Yeah, it's a pretty early morning because my work, I start pretty early there.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get there and open up the school. I try to be there to open up the school by 7 or before. So that
Have you
way students can come in and they can work on stuff or anything like that. But
and the shift of the daylight savings time with the 1 hour, it adjusting, like your body's just adjusting to it.
oh yeah,
You feel that as well. Like
hi, stitching
last
it up.
Hey, stitching it up. Will you write your first name in chat? Because I always love to make it personal, and I like to know everyone's first names. Hey, Lori. Hey, Virginia. Joe, fix it for you. Joey and Ginger.
That's right, Lori. It's getting dark. I mean, I was used to kind of getting home and I would have a couple hours worth of daylight to get chores done and work on a project or something like that. And now I drive home in the dark.
I heard that. I know. I just wish it would stay like, just pick one. They said they were going to do that in certain states. The South being one of them. I know. I believe they do that in Hawaii. Hey, there's Rebecca, touched by yarn.
Yeah, Rebecca.
And Ginger, there she is. Not for nothing, Homestead, y'all. I was, oh, y'all put me out like a light. I was dozing off and I was listening to Digging in the Word. And when Tony came on, I was just like last week was really my trying to adjust with the time. I was
Yep.
just really sleepy last week. I just passed right out and let the video keep playing.
Oh,
I did that too.
I was
And
bad. I had a meeting I went to instead of being in there, so I got in halfway through it.
uh-huh.
When I got back home, or maybe it was a little over halfway, I got into it. But I know it's real good. Like I went back and watched the first half that I missed. Wow, that combination of those three ladies and Tony, they just do.
That's something else.
It's pretty bang up. I like it a lot. And then Piggy talking about Sunday with his live, then my live, then Avid's live. Like it was just weird how that worked. I mean, it was a God thing with all three of those lives working together. And if you didn't watch Piggy's video from Monday, he done a real good job of explaining all of that. And I tell you, I put out a short earlier about baby William from a video that I put out. Amy and Chris's little grandson, baby William.
Oh, okay.
Marissa plus one's baby. He is the cutest, lovingest little dude. He's just so happy. And for some reason, he just loved me and Nana. And so I had him sitting there on my lap and I was talking to him and I turned on my phone and started recording. And I'm like, can you see yourself in there? And, playing with him. And he just laugh and giggle and squeal and smile and carry on. And him and I had a big time. Well, I found that in part of the lost footage, that I had from Pinecone. So I just trimmed it out and made a short out of it earlier. And
I saw that. I didn't get to watch it.
Can see just that,
Yeah, I dozed off. Like even last on Circle Back Tuesdays over at Amy's, I was dozing in and out.
Yeah.
I try because Steven's daddy went on, and I like to be there. Whenever Steven's there, I like to be there and do my thing. But
Yep.
I try to when I'm listening on the side with Amy, and she y'all, I was dozing in and out. Like I went in and out of almost consciousness because Steven's dad, when he talks, his voice just puts me right to sleep. Like doze off.
Put you to sleep?
It is true. But then, like, a few other people were telling me, well, no, Jenny, when you talk, you put me to sleep. Your voice. I'm thinking, but it just felt so good. Like, that state, what do you call that state? Where it's like cataclysmic going on. It's like almost when your brain feels like it's floating, right? You're dozing off slowly, and you feel and you hear everyone. You hear everyone speaking, but then your brain quietly calms down, and you just doze right there in the chair.
Because you're so relaxed, Man, they changed studio on the channel comments. The studio app, it's completely different. But
yeah, that actually happened to me twice today. I got so calm. I knocked on the forklift. I was sitting there in a row. I pulled up, gonna pick a pallet, and next thing I know, something like this. I hear a forklift come. My head pops up like, oh, dude's right behind me. And I talked to him about it. He said, dude, I saw you was out. I was just sitting there, just head going further and further down. And it's what's weird, you feel it. You feel your head kind of bob a little bit as you're going further forward.
I heard that.
It's like drifting right off into dreamland.
I
I
was
was like, oh wow.
I called Lisa one night. I worked all day at work, and I talked to her, and I said, "Man, I've got to get this. I got to get this test made for these students for tomorrow, and I got to get this report done. So I'm just going to stay here. No one else is in the building, so it's quiet. I can work." And
Mhm.
I called her about an hour later, and I said, "I'm heading home," and she's like, "I thought you said you were going to be a little while." I said, "I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, it was like you just unplugged me, and the battery was running dry. Like it just."
Yep.
I'm like, that means I got to stop because it's not going to go well from here.
Yeah. Just go home, go to bed. That's it.
Your body will our human bodies, whenever there is something it needs, it will speak to us, whether it's dozing us off for a little 20-minute nap, or maybe you're feeling you want to have some lemon, and it's your organs, and that body feels it needs some oxygen. Your
Yep.
body, just listen to it, because it's gonna tell you. And it don't ever and don't let people put you in a box. If you want something and you're craving it, do it. Because I mean, you can do it in moderation. Don't go out there and everything in moderation. That's what I say. Don't hold yourself
Yep.
back from, like, if you would like to have a piece of cheesecake, please do it. Or if you want some ribs, go eat your ribs. I mean, listen, I have family members, especially my mom is a twin, right? She is a twin, and she is a fraternal twin. And so they are born within a few minutes or whatever of each other. And my aunt is totally she's like the size 4 or whatever, 6. Now my aunt and my mom are both petite.
Oh,
They're like 5'4" or whatever. And my mom used to model hair products with Clairol, and she drove planes. She rode horseback, English and Western. Okay.
Wow.
She also worked for Mr. Don Jolie, which is he raced stock Corvettes in New England, and she's a retired educator. So she teaches lower level special ed, hydrocephalic, special needs children, attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity, all the children like this. And her first job was in the YMCA. She had 120 students. So, and
Wow.
she's done everything from interior designing. She went up to Atlanta, Georgia, and she used to
nice
take us
pitching,
to
Doug. Have a great night. Sorry.
have a great night.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she used to take us to Stone Mountain Park in Georgia. We went there for one celebration for Independence Day, 4th of July celebration, and I will always remember that, because we were in some place, beautiful hotel. And this hotel had a boat, and you have to take the boat to get over there. And there's just lasers up on that rock, and you see like the presidents. You know which one I'm talking about, y'all?
Yeah. I
Stone
think
I'm
Mountain,
not sure.
Georgia Park.
Stone Mountain.
I've actually never been.
It is this massive granite rock, and emblazed and cut and laser cut with the presidents on it, and they have this spectacular show that they use fireworks and all kind of lasers and all this stuff.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was a place.
yeah, yeah. It's
Well,
You
if
know,
we can make it to America, so we might have to go up there and check it out.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah, that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
there's a lot of that country. I've been to Atlanta, and I've been to Duluth,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been to Savannah for like training for like 4 or 5 days at a time, maybe. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, it's just so intense that you're like, basically you get up, you go to meetings, and that they feed you dinner, and then you go to bed. But So I haven't really traveled that part of the country. You know what I mean? I just don't know a lot about over in there. But
We got a lot of back roads and a lot of dirt roads. Very easy to get lost if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's really pretty, and I've been to Savannah. Dale, Mom, and I and Hope went, and we went on a horseback and carriage ride, and then after they brought us around the square, and we did River Street. Y'all know what I'm speaking about.
I did
And
do that.
yeah, and they have well, I didn't even know this, and this is ironic, but I wasn't expecting this, but as they took us around the square in the horse and buggy, all of a sudden they start talking, well, here is the where the feather came down right there by that church, and there's where Forrest Gump sat on the bench.
Yep.
And
There's
over
a-
there,
yeah,
that's Jenny's room up there in that building. I was
that's
like,
cool.
I walked right into the Forrest Gump movie.
Yep.
God, I never realized that's where they filmed that part at.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's spots. So the park bench when he's talking to all the different people, you know, the storyline of it really, where he's talking to them, telling them his life story. It's you can go to where that park bench is. The other
Wow.
thing that a lot of people don't know
Is this one
Savannah
of my favorite movies that I've done that?
is like haunted houses and stuff like that. Like that they took us on one evening they took us on a haunted bus tour. So you went in all these different spots that were historic and all that kind of stuff. And it was a comedian haunted bus ride, and I don't know about the comedy part. Like that was a far stretch for him to say it was comedy, but it was a lot of fun.
Was it scary, Dale? Dale, was it
It was
scary?
not. I'm not scared of any of that. I don't really believe in all that hoopla.
Well, I was going to say if you're all about that,
Right.
St. Augustine
Yeah.
has great carriage rides. They have tours of the Flagler College. It's supposed to be haunted, or some house there. It's supposed to be haunted. The old fort is supposed to be haunted. All that stuff. We checked
Oh,
some of
he's
them.
Yeah, I was going to say
amazing.
Regina would love this place because I know she likes her ghost
She loves it.
stories and stuff like that.
Oh
She
my
would love it.
gosh, yes. He would, because the city is built on the dead, right, Dale?
Yeah, and it is that town is
It's
so
historic.
historic. Like
Yeah.
the cobblestone and streets and stuff like I one of the county seats in our county, the county seat, it's known for having brick streets, you know, because it had a brick foundry, and everybody complains about those brick streets are just so rough and yada yada. Well, they ain't ever run down a cobblestone street then,
Yeah.
because that is, I mean, when they say it's a cobblestone street, like it ain't no gravel road, like it's big cobblestones with gaps between them, and it's just like don't you know.
We got those brick streets in Fitzgerald. They
Really?
preserve some, but they didn't preserve them well. You feel like you're riding a horse and buggy in your truck going across those streets.
Yeah. And
It's
so the
true.
horse and buggy ride on that is not really that bad. But then you see people trying to take their vehicles down those things, and they're
It's rough.
just, you know, if you get over like 10 mile an hour, it's just everywhere, you know. But
It
no,
is.
it was pretty neat there. I liked it. We were down, so we got to see like big cargo ships go by and stuff on the river, and it was pretty cool. That's one of the places I told Lisa that one of these days her and I are going to go visit, just her and I on a vacation, because
Mm-hmm.
they took us to Tybee Island. It was pretty good. You know, One of them places
y'all
to
go with
go.
I've been close to that on a
What?
boat before. I've been close to Tybee Island where we put in
Really?
to go fishing. He had a place down there he used to go catch redfish.
Oh, uh-huh.
No, he died in 2022. But I forget how many years ago it's been. We were around there. He told me Tybee Island was over this way and this island was over this way and all that. He'd been all around them fishing down there. And he used to have people try to pay him and take him fishing. He could limit out on reds like that. He knew where he was doing. What he was
Really?
doing. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, anything he did, he didn't do it halfway. He wanted to
Hi,
master
Jennifer
it.
Ocean.
And that's what our family friend said during his eulogy at his funeral.
Yeah.
He didn't just do something halfway, he mastered it.
But I flew into, so the time I went to Duluth, we
Mhm.
flew into Atlanta Airport and we got this rental. And your rental car that you had made me think of it. It was
Oh, no.
some kind of like Nissan. I don't remember. It's some little itty bitty compact SUV hatchback thing.
I had a
That's
Kicks.
what we were supposed to drive from the airport to there. And
Oh,
this
God.
young man I took with me, they wouldn't let him drive because he wasn't old enough yet to be on their insurance. I mean, he was
Wow.
like 21 or 2, but
Mhm.
according to the rental car company, you had to be 25 to be covered by their insurance. And so I'm driving, and this poor kid had never left flatland, middle of nowhere, population 75 town. He was from Kansas.
No.
And I take him there, and we get in Atlanta traffic, and I thought he was going to have a complete. He's pretty soon. He's like hiding under the dash. He's like, this is ridiculously scary. He hated it there.
I think it may be Regina's long lost brother. So,
Really?
that's
Oh,
not the way she was.
yeah. Regina said
That was-
y'all went to the wax museums. You know, my sister, she before she worked she started out as a doing, what do they call it? Resin. You know, when you work with resin sculptures and all that.
Mhm.
And and so the George Lucas people flew her out to Taiwan. This is before they made
That's cool, Joey.
the one of the Sith movies or something, and she couldn't even tell us that they were doing that. But she's really into all of those things for a long time, and then eventually she shifted to architectural and design as well, because we've always loved that. And then in the meanwhile, she interned at the WH house for Big T.
Really?
And yes, and she has clearance over there, and you know, high clearance. And so she was there while he was in office and all that. And her side gig was she does makeup for weddings.
Mhm.
She's always been good at doing makeup, and she loves to wear it. Me, I'm just simple. I'll, you know, if I need to do a social event or whatever, I'll put on mascara and, you know, a little of that. But I'm more natural. I just like to, I don't wear makeup every day, but she's really good at doing makeup. Like, and so she has a side hustle. She's been all over magazines and stuff and all this, but she does the weddings and bridal parties, all the makeup for all the parties of the bride. And in the meanwhile, she had, because I don't know of the stress of the lifestyle of just, you know, with the WH and all that, but she's designed so many things, and oh, it was so beautiful. But she's came down really, really sick, and she's on a feeding tube, so it's serious. And
This is Christine that we pray for.
Christine, yeah, that's right, my sister Christine, yeah. And so she has two beautiful children, and They're half Norwegian, and they're all like blue eyes, blonde hair, gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, and they're babies. They're still babies. But you know, I'm a really I'm really happy to have, I just have one sister, and I do have a brother, and I do have a half brother. I found out I have a half brother on my
Really?
daddy's side. Yeah, on my daddy's side. But I'm really sentimental because I'm patriotic heart, and I never want to impose my beliefs on anyone else, but I totally was pulling for Big T to win, and I'm so happy he did.
Oh yeah.
For
I
yeah,
think we're all there.
y'all with me for our country, because I mean
Well,
we
I can't
needed
speak for anybody else, but I can speak for myself.
me
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
I think
that's
we're
right.
all going to be better off now. But yeah.
Hmm.
Sounds great, Ginger.
That sounds really great. Leslie Ginger said we had a great time in St. Augustine, and that renewal of vows was at Christmas time, and all of our downtown was lit up.
Wow.
That's right, because Ginger, you used to live in Florida, right? Before you went to Georgia?
She was one of them Florida Yankees.
Yeah, they couldn't get out quick enough.
Yeah, last time we went, we actually got to see a guy. He had an old record player that was playing violin music, and he was
Hmm.
dressed in beard costume with the pointed hat, the buckles on the shoes, and everything. And he had a marionette puppet. He was working, and
Hmm.
puppet had the full old school attire on, had a violin, and you would swear that puppet was playing that music that was coming out of that old record player. The
Oh
guy
no
was there.
kidding.
We sat there and just watched and watched. I was just like mesmerized by it. The guy knew exactly how to move it to make it look like it was like timed perfectly. It was it was one of the coolest things we saw down there. Or to me, it was. Wax Museum was awesome, but that was something else. Yeah, as you said, the
There's some really
puppeteer was
talented
great.
people out there.
Yeah, I mean, he could do it.
Hmm.
That was cool. He made the little puppet like put the bow down and turn and bow at everybody when he was through. It was cool. That's on the old street. It's like you come in, it kind of makes a fork, and this road goes on the main road. There's an archway with the rocks and stuff, the old cobblestone street. That's the old part of town. You can park and walk in right there, and go right into the old part of town. I see some of the old buildings. They have a long hallway with shops down it. I mean, there's so much you can do
Oh, there's something
there.
I saw there, Derek. I mean, there was a sound I heard and I was drawn to it. It was wooden flutes, and there were a cultural, I don't know exactly where, but I believe these flutes. I've always wanted to get these wooden flutes because I started on those flutophone recorders, when you're a little kid.
Yep.
Right,
Plastic.
y'all remember those. But what happened is eventually I told my mom, I said, I want to play an instrument. And so my mom got me a clarinet, but she didn't buy it in a store. She bought it. Um, you know how in the neighborhood they have the signs up, and so we went to what are they,
Yard sale.
estate sale.
Okay.
And this estate sale, they actually had this leather. It was like a maroon color leather with wooden box, and my mom looked in it, and it was a wooden clarinet,
Hmm.
and she bought it. It would cost her $22. That's all she bought it for, y'all.
That's cool.
So she took it back
Yeah.
to me. My aunt wanted this for my cousin, because I had a cousin, and We are 6 months in difference apart. And she wanted it for my cousin. And my mom says, no, that's for Jenny. This is for her. So she brought that clarinet to me. And that was my instrument. Well, you see, all the other kids had black, shiny, plastic box clarinets. And mine was the ugly case, right? I had, so, but I didn't really know what it all was during that time. I just loved it. I was so super happy. I put that thing up, and the first song that I learned was Star Wars. I taught myself, that. Of course, we have band practice and all that, and I was always doing involved in music. And then all of a sudden, there was an epiphany, and they said, well, you have a special clarinet. And when you're that age, you're not thinking about stuff like this. They said, your clarinet is an all wooden clarinet. It's called LeBlanc. That thing is worth a lot of money. It's not like the plastic ones that the other kids have. I said, well, I don't really care about if it's worth $1 or 1,050, whatever dollars. It's more
Yep.
sentimental to me, right? Because my mom got it. It was $22, and that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. But it's always been with me. You have this gift inside of everyone has their own gifts. All of y'all out here, you'll notice what those gifts are, and it's just that beauty is, as children, you don't have judgments. You're just happy. And but
Oh
this
yeah.
same spirit stay like the same spirit is still me. It stays with me my whole life. Like, and you go through life and you're like feeling all of these things, and you're looking around and you see things with a lot of wisdom that you didn't know when you were a child, and you're happy. So I want y'all to keep that. Find that one thing that brings your soul happiness. And I see all of you as children. That's how I see everybody. That's how I like to look at you, with these eyes. Because if the world can do this, we can have a better humanity.
Oh yeah.
Like all this stuff, this illusionary stuff about, the exterior package, that's all nice for people to do. But I just want to let y'all right now, I'm not owned by anybody. Nobody owns me. Y'all can't get me in all different cliques. So I float and I freely go to you. If I'm in your presence, it means I absolutely adore you. And I think and I feel that your spirits are really genuine. And
Yeah.
there's something on the journey that allows us to gravitate towards that beauty. And I thank all of our communities here, whether it's the Digging in the Words, whether it's Tony and Joni. I mean, look at Jesse and Lisa, Lazy Days Ahead. They're amazing. Johnny and Christine,
Oh
Dale
yeah.
and Nana, Derek and Regina right here with us. We have thousands upon thousands. Okay. I can just imagine God looking at us every day and the beauty that he sees. And yet I'm also in my soul thinking, you know, what really does he see when he's looking at his creation? And how his heart is breaking because he wants everyone to that pinnacle. Like he wants everyone to follow him and to come to him. But we can't force it down people. That's never our job. Our job is for them to to just have their free will, because man gets free will, right, Derek? Right, Dale?
Yes.
Man has free will to do with
You make
as
your own decisions.
yeah.
God gave us free will so we can do what we needed to. Uh-oh.
Oh, he did a Paul. He pulled a Paul.
Uh-oh. Oh,
I
what
believe
just happened?
I believe
Uh,
he pulled a Paul. Do we
yeah,
start tell? We'll start telling a story like this, and then I'll disappear. or he'll disappear, or Paul disappear.
May have been doing this too long and something happened. I don't know. Lori said she thought she saw the number dropped off to 0 there for a minute. I don't know what happened. But it is 8.
Mine
And
says 9, Piggy. Yeah, Piggy, I say 9 too. I see 9.
that's what I'm seeing. I think Pretty and Pooch is probably hitting live right about now. So I guess we should jump out of here and check them out.
Yeah, let's go over to Pretty and Pooch. She's sweet too. Oh, yep, she just going live. I just seen it. So
I
let's
just I just got that on my phone and tablet. So
That's right. Thank you, Derek. Y'all are great, and y'all have a wonderful, many powerful blessings and love. And let's everybody head over to Pretty and Pooch with Tish and Pooch.
thank you for coming in, Jenny. It's been amazing. It's been a great night, and I'm so blessed you came in.
I'm
It's been
honored.
amazing.
Thank you so much, Derek.
And Dale, if you can't come back, that's great. I understand we're finna get out of here. Love you, brother. Love you, Jenny. We'll see y'all next week. Jenny left. We'll see y'all next week, hopefully. Not this long, hopefully. But I love each and every one of you. Thank y'all for being here. We'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all. Sorry. Didn't hit end stream yet. No, I did.